It's definitely been different. Years past, we've really been known as a running team. When teams think of us, they think of, bone, right? That's our main thing. When we just try to run it down their throats. And this year, we're really focusing more on spreading the ball out more, which is nice. We have a lot of talented guys at receivers and tight ends that we can really utilize when we need a big play. We need some momentum to go our way, and it just helps us, keep it balanced, keep the defense on their toes when they may be expecting a run. We can, run or pass right over their heads. It helps out a lot. That was definitely an emphasis over the summer. With us being run team in the past, we focused more on passing over the summer, much more than I ever have so far. And we really just, kind of tried to work out who would go where, and then all these different plays that we have. This team, we don't necessarily have that one player that you look at and he's like, that's the leader of the team. He's the star player or whatever. We have a lot of talented guys who may not be, like the best ever, but we have talent spread all throughout our offense. And that's important. You can't just go to the same guy over and over. You get to spread the ball out. You get to have multiple different leaders touching the ball in multiple different ways. We're using different plays and everything, and it really helps just to, the other team can't focus more on one guy. They have to kind of spread their defense out. So we have different plays that we go over before the game, obviously, and we like to see, how the defense works on that, and we practice them over and over and practice so we get it down. Kind of see what we're doing well in that week, and then in game we see how the defense reacts. If the defense is playing up real much, we can do a pass over them. It really just depends on how the game's going at that time, on what the play calling is. It's a lot about staying together as a team, communication. We need to just work together, each do our individual jobs, not try to be a star. We've had some problems with turnovers. We got to just work on that. When we've worked on it, gotten better at it, we just need to stay good with that, and really just work on lifting each other up when we have our down plays, because ultimately our identity isn't in football. Even though football is fun, our identity is with Christ. And so through it all, we just want to be good teammates to each other on and off the field.
First of all, I want to say, this is nothing about me or even the team. It's all given to us by God. It's talents that God has given us. So we're trying to first of all, we're just trying to do anything to glorify Him, on and off the field. But even though we've ran the ball a lot in the past or whatever, it kind of gives me a little bit of hope. Because as a wide receiver, and you're a running power team, so it's just run the ball. Now we're actually getting a chance to make plays, stuff like that. So I know that we have a really leader heavy leadership in our seniors or whatever. So our seniors are really trying to lift everybody up, encourage them. We're trying to make the coaches have to do less and let us basically lead practices and stuff like that, just to help the coaches out, because they got a lot going on and everything else. So we're just trying to lead and just be the good teammates that everybody wants. So we come in with about 10 plays that we're planning on doing, seeing how the defense adjusts to what we do and stuff like that. And then after we get through those 10 plays or whatever, it's basically just going on how we plan on doing it. Now last week we were playing against a good DB, so obviously we wasn't going to throw the ball that much, so we decided to run the ball last week. But it's just basically how the game goes most of the time. If we win the turnover battle, and if we stay disciplined, I think that we have a really good chance of winning all the games. So it's just a mental thing. I believe it's a mental approach.
With graduating Jules, obviously that we needed to spread the ball out. We have a lot of talented kids that need to touch the ball, and we've done a pretty good job thus far, I think, of getting a lot of people involved, and I think it's made it a little harder to game plan for us because of that. Yeah, I think it was more just looking at personnel. We're not doing anything we hadn't ever done before. We're just doing less of just turning around and handing it to Jules, right? I think, when you have a dynamic player, you want to get them as many touches as you can. But in our case this year, like I said, we have a lot of very good players who have different skill sets. So we're trying to get the ball to as many people who can in positions for them to be successful, right? So that's all we're trying to do. We talk about that a lot in life. If I want to be a good Christian, if I want to be a good man, put myself in a good position, right? Put myself in a position to be successful, and that's what we're trying to do with our offense. Look back the first game, I think we probably threw it 13 or 15 times, and Riley had to make a couple of third down plays, some big plays, and took some hits, and he did a really good job, when we had to on those plays. And then, last game, for instance, I only think we threw it 4 or 5 times, so And that's the great thing about he don't care. He just wants to compete and wants to win and help our team win. And so he's done a good job. We're throwing a high percentage of completion percentage, I think, and that's probably it's really good for us. I mean, we haven't had that in a while, so that's good to see. And I think there was one game I think we had maybe 9 completions, and I think 7 or 8 different people caught the ball. So so that's good. And we've had multiple games where 7, 8, 9 people have touched the ball on offense, and that's just. I think that's odd anywhere in our league, but it's definitely been odd for Florence Christian. So we're real happy with that, and we got some good players. I mean, Brooks Poston's been great, and Austin Johnson's been great, and Andrew Miller's ran hard. And we had one game he had 5 carries, another night he had 25 carries. And Josh Davis has caught the ball and ran the ball well. Dawson Anderson, he's a leader for us. He's been a stud, and the list goes on. Landon Fagan has done good. He's played a little quarterback and receiver. I mean, Dylan Fredrick, he's had a big touchdown in 2 of the 3 games as senior tight end. So a lot of different people have touched the ball, and that, I think that's good because you never really know. There's not really a focal point, I don't think, or not that I can see yet. So I'm real happy with how we're progressing so far. I think some of it is game plan, but some of it's feel also. You want to keep it in the people's hands who are hot, and then also just kind of, we're going to try to, and we're able to do it, I think, more than we've ever done before. We're able to kind of take what the defense has given us. And when Coach Minton's not being stubborn, we could probably take it more often, but I have a tendency to be a little stubborn sometimes with my play calling. But yeah, I mean, we're going to continue to hopefully, get even more comfortable throwing the ball around a little bit and running a little different offense than we have in the past. But as of right now, I think we're right where we need to be.